We've made it to month 4 of Project Pan. This is my second update since I started Project Pan earlier this year to try to use up what I already own. The past couple months haven't gone exactly as planned, and I'll get into the details of all of that soon. But today we're going to be going through some empties and additions, checking progress, and talking about my goals for Project Pan going into summer. First though, we're going to start this update with some declutters. So like I mentioned, the past couple months didn't go exactly as planned. I've been testing out a lot of my products, and these are the ones that I decided to declutter. I didn't plan on decluttering this many items. My goal was to really use all of these up, but that just didn't happen, and I'll go through really quickly one by one and talk about why I decided to declutter them. So the first one that I decided to declutter was this Ilia eye primer. This one I mentioned last time that I thought that I could finish because there's really not a lot of this left. You can already start to see the sides of it. And I was so gung-ho about using all of this product. And as soon as I finished my last update for Project Pan, I went really hard in trying to finish these. So that same day and the next day after that update, I used this product and this one right here. So this is the Lisa Eldridge liquid eyeshadow in the color Angelica. I used both of these together and I noticed some irritation in my eyes after using them. I had a small sty and I wasn't sure if it was caused by these products or which one it was caused by. So then the next day I decided to just use the primer on its own to see if this was the culprit of my eye irritation. And I am still regretting using this product because this product gave me an eye infection. And I've mentioned this eye infection in a couple of my other videos, but it definitely was not worth getting an eye infection to try to use up this product. And I am still dealing with that eye infection. And it started 2 months ago when I first used this product. And I only used this twice. I was trying to find my order history for when I purchased this product, and I think that it was so long ago that that email does not even exist anymore. And this product also does not exist anymore. I think they discontinued it. So this is probably 4 to 5 years old at this point, and it only has a shelf life of 12 months. So I wasn't able to find an exact date of when I purchased this, but my guess is that I bought this eye primer back in 2020. So it is beyond expired, but it didn't smell weird, it didn't look weird, so I thought it would be fine to use. But I think because this is one of those clean beauty brands, it does not have any preservatives in it, so I should not have risked putting this around my eyes. At first, I wasn't sure if I had an eye infection, so I was waiting to see if it kind of cleared up on its own, and it really wasn't that bad. My lower eyelid just looked kind of swollen, and the white of my eye just looked slightly red and irritated and watery. So I waited for a week or two to see if it would clear up on its own, but it didn't seem to be getting any better. So then I called the optometrist that I typically go to, and they told me that my insurance would not cover the appointment, so it cost me between $200 and $300 to go get my eye seen. So they recommended going to another place that my insurance would cover. So I called them, but I couldn't get an appointment made for another 3 weeks. So in the meantime, I went to urgent care and tried to get my eye situation figured out because I made the mistake of Googling eye infection from makeup right before I went to bed one night. And I do not recommend Googling any health issues right before bed because it was pretty much telling me that I was going to go blind. So I got super paranoid, but yeah, so I went to urgent care and honestly, they were really unhelpful. She told me that she didn't see anything wrong with my eye and that she thought that it was just allergies, even though I told her that I do not have seasonal allergies. So that was unhelpful, and I ended up just waiting the 3 weeks to go to my other eye appointment. And they did say that my eye looked irritated and there was some inflammation. So they did give me eye drops, and I've been using those eye drops for the past couple weeks, and my eye's looking a lot better. But long story short, it was not worth getting an eye infection from testing out and trying to finish up this expired product. I just should have thrown this away and cut my losses because it was costing me more money and more time and my health trying to use up this product. So definitely a word of warning, if you are putting a product that you think is expired directly around your eyes, especially if it's a clean beauty brand, just don't do it. Just save yourself the time and money and headache and toss the product out because it is not worth risking your health for Project Pan. So this item is getting decluttered. And then these two products I used on top of that eye primer, and they have a doe foot applicator. So now I'm really paranoid that I infected both of these products with bacteria. I feel like there might be some sort of cross-contamination here, and both of these products are technically expired. They only have a 6-month shelf life, and I got these back in January of 2022. So they are now 3 years old, and even though they still work fine and they still look really pretty, and honestly, I was so excited to be using this Bianca one more because I didn't use it that much while it was still good. And I figured out a way to use it on a day-to-day basis that looked really natural and pretty. So I was so excited to use this one up during spring, but I only used it that one time when I used it with this product. And then because I had the eye irritation, I just stopped using any products around my eyes for the rest of spring. And I decided that it was not worth risking it keeping these products as well. So to be on the safe side, I'm decluttering both of these eyeshadows. And it is so sad. These are two of my favorite products and they're so pretty and I don't have anything else quite like them. But I think in the future, I'm just not going to be buying any liquid or cream eyeshadow products because I wear eyeshadow so infrequently that it is not worth risking a product going bad and causing an eye infection. As much as I love these, I probably will not repurchase them in the future. Even though I am really tempted by this color Angelica because I got a lot of use out of this one, especially for special occasions. And it is so pretty and so sparkly and nothing else is quite like it, but I just can't risk it. So unfortunately, I don't think I'll be repurchasing these in the future and they are getting decluttered today. The next product that I'm decluttering today is this Kosas Wet Lip Oil in the color Unhooked. I got this product back in March of 2022. So it also is 3 years old and only has a 12-month lifespan. I was determined to finish this up this spring, but as I started using it, it just smells really weird and it always had a weird scent to it. So I thought that that's why it smelled weird. But even so, I just cannot handle the scent of this. And the fact that I can also kind of taste the scent on my lips when I first apply it made it really unpleasant for me to use. And I did not look forward to emptying this. Even though that was my goal, I decided that I just don't want to hate pan products. And even though I like this color and I like the formula and I liked using it in the past, it's just not worth trying to empty a product that I'm not in love with anymore when I have so many other lip products that I need to use before they go bad that I enjoy using a lot more. So this one I decided to declutter so that I can focus on other things. And then I have these two tinted Ilia lip balms in the colors Wanderlust and Lady. I really like these, but these are two of my oldest makeup products that I own. I got these in November of 2021. So they are 4 years old now, and they definitely are starting to smell like it. It's so hard to tell because these always kind of had a vanilla sort of scent. But when I was testing them out the past couple months, I noticed that they're causing kind of like a tingly sensation on my lips. And I just felt like I was having some sort of reaction to them. And it was also kind of grossing me out thinking about how old they are. Again, after having my experience with this Ilia eye primer, with them being a clean beauty brand, I decided that it just wasn't worth it and that it was time to say goodbye. So I didn't make a lot of progress with these, and I am kind of curious to measure them to see if I made any progress at all. But honestly, I only used them a couple of times each before I decided to declutter them. So I'll just do a final measure of these. Starting with Wanderlust, this is the one that I planned to focus on for spring, but of course that didn't happen because I decluttered them pretty quickly. I made the tiniest bit of progress on Wanderlust. So not a ton of progress, but I tested it out enough to decide that it was time to declutter it. And then Lady, I highly doubt there's any progress on this, but let's see. Okay, there's maybe the tiniest bit of progress. Again, not a ton of progress, but I feel good about decluttering it and I feel like it's time to say goodbye. I also decided to declutter this little mini Rare Beauty glossy balm in the color Nearly Neutral. I really like this product, but I do have the full size of this. And this is another one that's really old. I got it in May of 2023. So it's a couple years old and I want to say it only has a 12-month shelf life. And I feel like because Sephora gave it to me for free, It makes me think that this was already on the verge of expiring because I know Sephora has a reputation for doing that, and this one has gone off a lot quicker than my other glossy balm that I got around the same time. And when I was first using this, I thought it was pretty much done and I was ready to throw it into my empties pile because it was coming out completely dry. And I thought the interior of this little bottle was painted the same color as the lip balm because I couldn't scrape the sides at all and it looked like a solid color. But then right before I threw it into my empties bag, I decided to take the stopper out and it had so much product left. I really thought it was completely empty and done, but once I took the stopper out, it was like I had a brand new lip balm. There was so much product left, so I tried to finish it, and my goal was to empty this because it is so small, but it also started causing some lip irritation. And because I have the full size of this, and I was just thinking about all the other lip products that I'd rather be using, I decided that it wasn't worth using every last drop and causing irritation. Maybe before my whole eye infection experience, I would have been more willing to use a product that's a little bit expired, but my tolerance now for that is very low, and I'm not willing to cause harm to my body for a lip balm. It is not worth it. So I decided to just call this one done. It is close enough. I have the full size. There's no need for me to keep using something that's expired. And I feel like if I were to keep focusing on these products that are expired, then I have other products that I like a lot that are expiring as I'm trying to use already expired products. So I really don't want to get caught in the sunken cost fallacy of wasting products as I'm trying to use up other products because it's just not worth it. And I have so many things that I want to use more and I don't want those to go bad either. So I'm cutting my losses and decluttering 7 products today. And out of curiosity, I want to see how much of these I used before I declutter them. So I'm going to measure them. So at my last update, this eye primer was at 23 grams. And today, it's still at 23 grams, which makes sense. I only used it a couple of times. Last time this Kosas Wet Lip Oil was at 31 grams. And today it's at 30. So I did use okay. I'm going to call that 30 because I did use this nonstop for about 2 weeks. I really gave it a shot and my goal was to empty it, like I said. So I got a little bit of use out of this, but I feel good about decluttering this one today. Last time Wanderlust was at 25 grams. And it's still at 25. And Lady was at 24 grams. And it's at 25. So whatever, it's done. I'm decluttering it. I feel like my scale isn't the most accurate scale. It's made for food. It's not made for measuring makeup products, but it's fine. At least we're getting a rough idea. And then each of these Lisa Eldridge eyeshadows were at 21 grams last time. Still at 21 and still at 21. Again, no surprise, I only used them a couple of times. And then this little mini was at 5 grams. And again, I did take out the stopper, so that probably took off some weight, but I used it quite a bit anyhow. And it's 4 or 5 grams. So I did use a little bit of this. So that's what I'm decluttering today, and even though this didn't go according to plan, I feel good about getting these items out of my collection so that I can focus on stuff that I really like. I do have one more item that's not a part of my project pan that I have been debating decluttering as well. And I kind of want to ask your guys' advice today and opinions because I'm not sure what to do about this mascara. So this is the mini mascara from Merit, and I got this back in November of 2023. It is going on 2 years old now, and I know that you're not supposed to keep mascaras for more than 3 or 6 months. And again, this is a clean beauty brand, so I definitely feel like having it for 2 years is pushing it. I do not want to risk getting another eye infection, and I don't want to risk going blind. It is not worth it, but I don't use mascara all that often. I really only use it for special occasions, and the only special occasion I have coming up is my friend's wedding in September, and that's the only time I can see myself wanting to use a mascara for the rest of the year. So I'm really on the fence about what to do with this mascara because I don't feel comfortable using it, but I also don't want to go out and buy a new mascara just to use it once before I throw it away. And I know that I can buy another mini, but I'm so picky about my mascara and I really enjoyed this one, but it doesn't look like they're selling a mini version of this. I got it in their holiday set a couple years ago, and I know if I were to just get a mini or a cheap drugstore mascara, that chances are I would not be happy with it, and I probably wouldn't even want to use it for the wedding. I really don't like my lashes to look clumpy. I like them to look as natural as possible, so I would almost rather go without a mascara than use one that I don't like. Someone in the comments also mentioned using a mascara cake, which is something that I looked into. So it's just a dried pan of mascara that you wet with a brush and then you apply it to your eyelashes. And it's supposed to last a couple years before it goes bad. So I feel like a product like that would make a lot more sense for me. But again, I use mascara so infrequently that I don't really want to spend $25 for a product that I'll probably only use maybe 5 times in 2 years. So I just don't know what to do about mascara. I don't want to waste money, I don't want to waste product and packaging, but I also don't want an eye infection. So what would you guys recommend I do? Should I get the mascara cake that lasts 2 years, or should I just invest in a nice mascara that I like, even though it's probably going to go to waste? Or should I just go without mascara? Let me know what you guys would do. For now, I'll hold on to this one, but I probably need to declutter this one soon. Next, I'll get into my empties. So first up are all of my empties that were not a part of my project pan. So this is everything that I used up in the last 2 months. First, I finished this Garnier Micellar Water. This is the first micellar water that I ever purchased, and I really liked using it. It made getting makeup off really easy, and it didn't irritate my skin at all. So I went ahead and repurchased the same one. And then I also emptied this Har Har Wonder Black Rice Probiotics Barrier Essence. I really enjoy this product. I use it every morning and every night, so I also repurchased the same one. Ooh, I love how my nails are matching, by the way. So aesthetic, I love it. Also finished a nail polish remover, so I just purchased another cheap one online. And then I finished 3 different sunscreens. So I have the Issatree Hyaluronic Acid Watery Sun Gel, the Har Har Wonder Black Rice Moisture Airy Fit Daily Sunscreen, and the Beauty of Joseon Relief Sun Aqua Fresh SPF. I was testing all of these out at the same time, and you can check out my review on these in my Korean SPF review video. But I really enjoyed all of these, and my partner was also using them, and he enjoyed them as well. And since I was using them all pretty evenly, they finished within a few days of each other. So these are all empty now, and I decided to cut them open this way because somebody in the comments recommended doing this, because if you cut the top off, then sometime the top can't be recycled because it's such a small piece of plastic. And I actually recently realized that my city doesn't even recycle plastic that's under 6 ounces. And all of these are 1.69 ounces. So all the plastic that I've been putting in the recycling up until this point has been ending up in the landfill anyhow. So now I know I need to recycle products like this through Pact. So I can probably do that through either Ulta or Sephora. But I really enjoyed all of these sunscreens, and I am now just trying to finish up the one that I have left. And this is the mineral sunscreen from Har Har Wonder. So I'm going to try to finish this one up first. And then I also bought a replacement of this one here. So these are the 2 sunscreens I'm going to be using going into summer. Next, I finished a curl gel. So I have the Briogeo Curl Charisma. And I really enjoy this curl gel. This is, I think, maybe the 2nd or 3rd one that I've purchased. And I went ahead and purchased the same one as a replacement. I've tried other curl gels in the past, and they always kind of weigh my hair down or make my hair look really crunchy or stringy. And this one doesn't do that. It gives me really nice, soft curls and reduces the frizz without weighing my hair down. So if you have really fine, thin hair and you're looking for a curl gel, then I highly recommend this one from Briogeo. And then finally, I finished a hand cream. This is the O'Keeffe's Working Hands Cream, and this one I actually got from my dad for Christmas. It was in my stocking. This was a couple years ago, and I don't know who chose my dad to fill the stockings because we got really utilitarian things like this. But honestly, it has been really nice to use. A little goes a long way, and it has kind of a waxy finish that absorbs really quickly into the hands, and it's perfect for if you have really dry, cracked hands. Especially during the winter, I really enjoyed using this one. So this one took me at least a couple years to finish, and I've since replaced it with this Trader Joe's hand cream. This one I saw multiple people recommending online, and it's so affordable that I figured I'd give it a shot, and I've been really happy with it. It has been a great replacement. It's not as waxy as the O'Keeffe's one here. It's definitely more of a cream. This one feels really thick and moisturizing, but it absorbs really quickly and doesn't feel greasy. So this is kind of exactly what I look for in a hand cream. If it makes my hands feel greasy, then I don't want to use it. I want to feel like I can put it on really quickly and go on with my day without getting grease spots all over. It has a nice subtle scent too. It's kind of herbally, but it's not too overpowering, so it doesn't bother me, and I've been really enjoying using this. So those are all my non-project pan empties from the past couple months. Next are all of my project pan empties. I have 7 empties total since my last update. So first up, I have this Bioma Creamy Jelly Cleanser. This one I just finished last night. I've been using it to clean my ears and also to clean my armpits. And that is a good hack if you have a cleanser or some kind of exfoliating skincare product, then it's a good idea to use it on your armpits because chemical exfoliants help to get rid of any smells without the use of deodorant. It's also good to exfoliate your armpits if you're going to be shaving because it helps prevent any ingrown hairs. So that's how I used this one up since I didn't like to use it on my face, and it is now completely empty, and I'm so glad to have this out of my shower. I've already been using the CeraVe cleanser, so this is what replaced this one here, and I've been really enjoying this one. It's really gentle. It makes my skin feel clean without feeling stripped. I'll just continue using this, and I'll probably repurchase this one after I finish it. Next, I finished this Paula's Choice 2% BHA liquid exfoliant. I liked this product, but I didn't love it. I've had this for probably 2 to 3 years now, and it has taken me forever to finish up. I use so little of this at a time, and I can really only use this about once or twice a week. Otherwise, my skin starts to get a little bit irritated. So it took me so long to use, and I'm so glad that it's finally finished so that I can move on to other products. Because like I said, I don't completely love this product. It just feels a little bit greasy on the skin, and it never fully dries down. It's not necessarily a bad greasy feeling where it feels heavy, but why I don't like it is because I feel like it'll transfer into other parts of my face where I don't want an exfoliant. So I've had this kind of cause irritation around my eyes and around my lips and also around my neck, just in areas where this product has migrated because it doesn't dry down fully, and then I'll end up with these really dry patches. I find that this really transfers onto my pillow as well, and I'll usually use this right before I go to bed. So then even on nights when I haven't used this product, I feel like my skin is still getting sensitized because some of the product that's on my pillow is then transferring onto my clean face. So that's why I don't love this product and why I won't be repurchasing it in the future. Even though I did find it to be really effective, every time I use this, I would wake up with my skin looking really smooth and clear. I feel like my skin just gets along really well with salicylic acid. I have my eye on the Cocoa Kind salicylic acid serum, so I might purchase that one in the future. But for now, I'm going to be replacing this one with a product that I already have. So I have this retinol serum from Vanish, and I've had this for a few years now. I got it for free with a purchase, and it's been living in my fridge, so even though it only has a 12-month lifespan, I'm hoping it's still good, and I will be adding this one into my project pan to try to use it up. But I don't want to be using too many actives on my skin, so that's why I'm not going to be buying another BHA product right away. I want to see how my skin reacts to this retinol first. So this is what's going to be replacing this one in my routine. I also have these 2 products here that also live in the same kind of active category in my skincare routine as this one. I've already been using these, and this is just a little sample of the Kiehl's Truly Targeted Acne Clearing Solution. So this is a 2% salicylic acid acne treatment. I really like to use this as a spot treatment, though I think it would be way too much to use all over your face like I use this one. So not exactly the same, but for now I'm fine with just having this one here and using it up. I got this for free, and it is lasting me forever because I just use one tiny little drop each time I use it. And then I also bought this Tower 28 Daily Rescue facial spray. So this is the viral product that has hypochlorous acid. I do like this product, but I will say that it's not the miracle product that social media makes it out to be. I find it really gentle to use and good if my skin is just looking a little inflamed and irritated, or if I feel a breakout forming. I use this, and I do find that it kind of stops the breakout in its tracks. And I get some irritation around where my glasses sit on my nose. Even though I clean my glasses every single day with alcohol wipes, I still find that I get breakouts and skin irritation there, and this has completely stopped those breakouts. I've also been using this on my body if I get a little sweaty and I'm not able to shower right away, so I feel like it's helping with body acne, but it's really only good for kind of surface skin breakouts. I think if your acne is being caused by anything internal, then I don't think this is going to do much. It hasn't stopped my hormonal breakouts, but it does make my skin just a little bit more manageable. I think this is probably way overpriced for what it is though, so let me know if you have any recommendations for other hypochlorous acid sprays, preferably one that doesn't have alcohol and that's non-drying. So those are the actives that I'm using in my skincare routine right now and that are kind of replacements for this one. Next, I finished 2 face masks from Coco Kind. I have the Chia Bounce mask and the Sea Kale Clay mask. Both of these were okay. I didn't necessarily love them. I think I liked the clay mask a little bit more. This Chia Bounce mask is just really runny and I find it messy to use. And I just have trouble fitting a face mask that I have to wash off into my routine. So I ended up just using both of these in the shower, which maybe isn't the best way to use them because they can't dry down fully. But I was able to use them up, and these are also probably very expired at this point. So I'm glad to just get them out of my shower and be done with them. I also have this face mask here that I used. It was fine. It wasn't anything special. I tried to really use it up and I put all the extra serum in here all over my face and my body, and I just let it dry down before using my other skincare for the night. And I didn't really like how it felt. It felt kind of sticky and just kind of caused sensory issues for me. So I may not do that again in the future, but I just had one of this kind, so I used this one up. And then I also finished the body lotion that I depotted into this container. So this was part of that short where I emptied all of those almost empty body lotions, and I put all of the remaining product in here, and I finished this one up as well. So now I replaced it with the same thing. So this is what was inside here. And I like this lotion because it doesn't feel heavy and greasy, it absorbs really quickly, and it's fragrance free. And then finally, my last empty is a makeup product. So I finished this Rare Beauty Glossy Balm in Nearly Mauve. This one was almost gone, and it was another one that was probably technically expired, but it wasn't causing any lip irritation and it didn't smell or look off. This is the one that I took the stopper out of in my last Project Pan update. I also have a short of me using the very last bit of this product and officially calling it empty, so go check that out if you want to see it. But I really enjoyed emptying this product. I feel like this is how Project Pan empties should feel. I should be enjoying every last drop of a product, otherwise probably I don't need to be emptying it. But this one I really enjoyed. I enjoyed the color of it. It was really easy for me to use on a daily basis. And I will say, even though there's barely anything left in here, it still took me so much longer to finish up than I expected. When I first added this into Project Pan, I thought that it would maybe take me 1 or 2 weeks to fully use up, but it took me at least 3 weeks of using it multiple times a day, every single day, to finish this up. And especially after I took the stopper out, there's still so much product left in here. It took me a couple more weeks after taking the stopper out. So definitely a lesson in how long products actually take to finish. They take a really long time. Even just scraping what little was left on the sides of this product took me a long time to finish up. When most people would call it empty, there's still several days worth of product left. But this one is 100% dry. There's absolutely nothing left in here, and it is so satisfying to see. It's really hard to empty makeup products. So I feel proud of this one, and I'm glad to have it out of my collection so I can focus on other things now. So those are all of my Project Pan empties from the past couple months. Next up, I have some additions that I'm adding into Project Pan. So I already talked about this retinol serum here I'm adding in because it is a few years old now and I'm questioning whether it's even still good, but I've been wanting to add a retinol into my routine. So I just need to try this one out and make sure that it doesn't irritate my skin. But that's why I'm adding it into Project Pan, because I just need to finish it up. Otherwise, it's a waste. Same for this one here from Banish. This is the Banish Serum Dark Spot Corrector with vitamin C. And I also have had this one for several years, and it only is supposed to last 6 months, but I have been keeping it in the fridge ever since I got it. I typically use this serum after I've done some microneedling, but I haven't done any microneedling in a few years now, and I would like to get back into it, but I'm just waiting for my skin to improve a little before I do that. And I just need to test this product out again to make sure that it's not expired and it doesn't cause any skin irritation. And if it doesn't, then I need to finish it because it won't last forever, even though I've been keeping it in my fridge. It doesn't look like it's changed in texture or color or smell at all though, so I'm hoping that it's fine, but I'm just going to test out one product at a time to make sure it's not causing any irritation before I add in any other products. So these two I'm adding to my project pan. And then I have my 4 solo shadows from Merit. I decided to add these in because I purchased these between August and November of 2023. And these also have a 6-month shelf life, so they technically are expired, even though they haven't changed in color or texture or smell at all, and they haven't dried up. I know a lot of people have had issues with these drying up, but mine still are very creamy and the same as the day I got them. I think it's because I'm borderline paranoid about making sure these lids are closed and locked. So even when I'm using these eyeshadows, I won't keep them open for more than a few seconds before I close them again. So I've been very careful with them, and they still look and feel normal. But now with my eye infection experience, I am very wary of using any eye product from a clean beauty brand that is technically expired. I don't want to risk another eye infection, so that's why I'm adding all of these into my project pan. And I'm not sure what the limits are of when to decide when to declutter something, because obviously I couldn't tell with the eye primer when it was actually expired, even though it ended up causing eye irritation. So I'm really hoping that these don't cause any issues. But I love these so much, and I haven't used them as much as I would like to use them. So that's why I'm going to try to hit pan on all of these. I don't know if I'll actually be able to get there, but I'm going to get as far as possible before they go off. I think the one that I've used the most is Glacé. So this is the one that came in the holiday set. It's just a soft champagne shimmer that's really good for daily use. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to hit pan on this one fairly quickly if I use it daily. But really my goal is to hit pan on all of these before they expire. Hopefully by the end of the year, I can hit pan. But I'm going to be making a real effort now to use them now that they're in my project pan. So I have the color Nelson, which is a charcoal gray color that I use as my eyeliner. I have Social, which is kind of like a mauve-y purple color. And this one looks like a really natural kind of crease color for me. I have Studio, which is a warmer taupey color, but still really cool toned, so it works well for me. And then I have Glacé, which I already mentioned. So we will see how far I can get with these. But again, in the future, I'm going to try really hard not to purchase any cream or liquid eyeshadows because I just can't use them before they expire. And I'm not risking any more eye infections. So I'm adding 6 items into my project pan today. Okay, next I'm going to get into the progress of my other project pan items, starting with my makeup. I didn't use all of these products in the past couple months, so I'm going to sort them by the ones that I've used and I'd like to measure and check progress on, and the ones that I didn't use. And I'm not going to bother checking the progress on those today. So here are the makeup products that I used at some point in the past couple months, and here are the ones that I haven't touched, or maybe I only used once and I don't think it's worth measuring today. So I'm just going to set all of these aside and we'll talk about these here. All right, I'll start with my Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask because I feel like this is the most satisfying progress from today. So that's what it's looking like today. I have finally hit pan on this product. I actually hit pan just a couple days after filming my last project pan update. I knew that I was really close to the bottom, but it was taking me forever to get there and I didn't know how much longer it would take me. But turns out it only took me a couple more days. I'm really happy with this progress, and now I've just been trying to kind of work my way at the edges of this product. But I use this every single night before I go to bed, and during the last update, this one weighed 51 grams. And today it weighs 50 grams. So I used up a gram of product since my last update. Oh, it's kind of going between 49 and 50. I'm going to call that 50 because that's kind of what it's sticking at. At the very start of my project pan, this one weighed 52 grams. So total, I've used 2 grams of product. I don't know whether I'll be able to finish this one by the end of the year, but I'm slowly working my way through it. So I'm really curious how far I'll get. Next up, I have this Merit lip oil in the color Jeté. This one has been at 26 grams since the start of my project pan. And I only used this one maybe a handful of times since my last update because I was focusing on the Rare Beauty lip balm, so I'm not sure if there will be much progress today. No progress. That's fine. This is a product that I do want to focus on more for the summer because I purchased this in April of 2023. So it also is really old and one of my oldest makeup products. So I definitely need to start using this more before it actually expires. Next, I have my Kulfi Brow Gel, and this one has been at 19 grams since the start of my project pan. And even though this one is part of my project pan, I've kind of decided that I'm not in any rush to finish it up. Even though it's not necessarily my favorite product ever, I don't mind it, and I don't really want to be spending a lot of money right now. So I'm fine just continuing to use this one in a natural way rather than trying to pan it as quickly as possible. I'm going to keep it in my project pan just to track the progress. So again, it was at 19 grams at the start, and today it's still at 19 grams. I don't know if I'll actually be able to see a weight difference on this one, but I have used this one quite a few times since my last update. Next, I have this Merit concealer stick, and this one is in the color Bone. And this one I've only used maybe 3 or 4 times since my last update. I was really determined to get a lot of use out of this during the spring, but then after the first time I used it, I realized that it still was a little too dark for my skin tone. My skin just hadn't tanned enough from the sun yet at the beginning of spring, and I find that this one kind of oxidizes throughout the day. So it just gets darker and darker as I wear it, and there was a noticeable difference between my face and my neck. But now that we are fully into summer, this one is actually a lot better match for my skin tone than my Tower 28 concealer. The Tower 28 one now kind of makes me look like a ghost. So I'm glad that I have this one for summer, and I'm really going to try to make a big push this summer to finish this one up or get as far as possible in it because it is very expired, and because it only matches my skin tone in the summer, I feel like whatever I don't end up using, I'm just going to declutter after this summer because it's really old and I think it's time to get rid of it. I'm going to try to use up as much of this as possible this summer before I declutter it. So this one has been stuck at 38 grams since the start of Project Pan, and today it is at 37 grams. Yay, so it went down 1 gram. That makes me happy because I have used this a few times. Now I'm curious to measure the length of it. I feel like since I use this all over my face, I end up using quite a lot of it each time I use it, so hopefully it'll go pretty quickly. And there is the tiniest difference there. So that difference there is just from 3 or 4 uses over the past couple months. So I'm really hoping if I focus on this product during the summer that we will either use it up or get really close. Okay, and then next I have this Laura Mercier Caviar Stick in the color Strapless. This is another one that I really thought I would finish up before this update, but that didn't happen because of my eye infection. And I used this along with the Lisa Eldridge liquid eyeshadow and the Ilia eye primer, so I am a little nervous to use it again. I really hope there's no cross-contamination, and it is also technically expired, but again, it doesn't look weird, it doesn't smell weird. I'm thinking that I might just cut the end of it off where it touched around my eye and where it touched the eye primer. And I think I'll also try disinfecting it with some alcohol before I use it. I don't know if I'm playing with fire by using this product again, but I really want to finish it. And I was really excited to try to finish it this past spring because I found a way that I like to use this product. I realized that rather than using these eyeshadow sticks all over my eyelid, I actually prefer to use them just in the outer corner of my eyes, almost as an eyeliner that I can kind of smudge out into my crease. And I find this color works as just a really natural crease color, just to add a little bit of depth to my eye. I find it really pretty and really easy to use on a daily basis for a really natural look. I will be sad if I have to declutter this before I finish it up because now I really like this product. So yeah, I don't know if I'm risking another eye infection by using it. Let me know what you guys would do. Do you think cutting off the tip and disinfecting it is enough to prevent any bacteria that might be on there? I just used it that once on top of the eye primer and just in the corner of my eye. I really hope that it hasn't gone bad because of that. And I don't want to risk anything, but I also would like to be able to use up this product because there's so little left. I feel like it would be so easy to use up if I could just finish it. So again, I was only able to use this once before I got my eye infection, so I doubt there will be much progress today, but it has been stuck at 7 grams since the start of Project Pan, and today it's still at 7 grams. I do want to measure it and see if it went down at all from that one use. I would say it maybe went down a hair, but not enough for me to mark it, so I'm not going to mark it off today. But yeah, I think I'm going to try to finish this one this summer, but let me know whether you think that's a bad idea. And then finally, I've been focusing on these 2 Merit Flush Balms this past spring. So these are the colors Cheeky and Beverly Hills. I like to start with Cheeky and then add Beverly Hills on top because I feel like Cheeky can get a little too pink on me, but then once I add Beverly Hills, it kind of helps blend into my skin better. So I really like to use these products simultaneously, and it's been helping me make a lot of progress on them. So I'm hoping we will be able to see that progress today. I'll start with Cheeky. So Cheeky has been stuck at 24 grams since the start of Project Pan. And I've used this one maybe about half the time over the past couple months. So I'd say I've used this at least 30 times since my last update. So again, it was at 24 grams before, and today it's still at 24 grams. All right, that's fine, that's fine. Let's see if there's any difference here. It looks like it went down the tiniest bit last time. So today, okay, so it went down the tiniest bit. You can see right there, I have been making some progress. It's very small, but it has gone down. And because it can go a little too pink on me, a little goes a long way, so I don't use a lot of this each time I use it, but it definitely is looking flatter compared to last time. At least I think so. Maybe I'm just trying to make myself feel better and maybe I'm just imagining it, but I feel like it's gotten a little bit flatter. And then as for Beverly Hills, it has been at 23 grams since the start. And today, oh, it looks like it wanted to be 22, but it's still at 23. I feel like it is so close to going down to 22. It just takes so long to make any progress on here. Oh, hey, can we call that 22? I might call that 22, you guys. Just to make me feel better. I just need like a win today. I want to give that to myself. That has gone down by 1 gram. All right. Okay, now I'm going to see if there's any difference here. Okay, that has gone down a little bit as well. So you can see it right there, there's a little bit of a difference. And I also have probably used this one at least 30 times since my last update. I would have used it more, but I feel like with my eye infection, because I have been having to wear glasses every day, I just don't like having a lot of stuff on my face, and sometimes having to wear my glasses really aggravates me and annoys me. And so on those days when I'm feeling annoyed by my glasses, I just don't feel like wearing any makeup. So I probably would have reached for blush a lot more if it weren't for me having to wear my glasses every day. But I still was able to reach for both of these at least 30 times in the past 2 months. So I feel good about the progress that I've made on these. I'm really hoping through this Project Pan to flatten all of my Merit Flush Balms because I have 2 others besides these 2 here. And I'd say that Beverly Hills is the only one that I've actually flattened so far. So I'd really like to get all of my other Flush Balms to the same flatness level as Beverly Hills. And then I feel like with Beverly Hills, because I like to layer it on top of my other blushes, my goal is to completely pan this one. I don't know if it'll happen before it expires because again, it is technically expired as all of my blushes are, but as long as it doesn't go off and start smelling weird or causing skin irritation, my goal is to pan Beverly Hills. And I've seen other people on YouTube pan these Merit blushes, and I know that it takes a really long time. There's so much product left underneath here, and so I am anticipating it being a long-term goal. So we'll see how far I can get by the end of the year, but that really is my goal, to completely pan Beverly Hills and to flatten all the other ones before they expire. Okay, next up is skincare, and this is all I have left for skincare in Project Pan. I know I said I was going to try to use up all these face masks by this next update, but instead I was focusing on the 2 Cocoa Kind ones, so I haven't gotten to these yet, but I feel like these I will be able to use up by my next update. That is my goal at least. So I'm not going to talk about these today. And then I just have these two products here. So I have this depotted sunscreen that I talked about in my last video. And this is another one that I showed myself depotting in that short. All those sunscreens that were almost gone, but not quite. And again, this sunscreen I'm not trusting for real sun protection because it's probably very expired. So I've just been using it casually on my arms and my legs when I go for short walks, and I'm not going to be in the sun for a long time. And up until this point, there's still been a decent amount of cloudy, rainy days here in Portland. So I haven't gotten to use this as much as I would like. And on the days when I was out in the sun a lot, I didn't want to use this. I wanted to use a sunscreen that I could trust. So I didn't finish this up like I hoped I would, but I am about halfway there. So at least I'm making progress, and we can also check the weight today. During my last update, this was at 171 grams, and today it's at 148. So I've used 23 grams of product. That's pretty good. I feel like I can definitely finish this one before my next update. And then I still haven't finished up this Lume deodorant. I just want to finish this so badly, especially now that we're in summer. It does not work as well as I would like it to. I feel like it's fine on days when I'm just staying home and it's not too hot outside. But now that it's warming up, or if I'm out socializing with people, then I choose to wear my other deodorant and not use this one because I can't trust this deodorant. I feel like it makes me sweatier than if I wasn't wearing any deodorant at all. It does okay with odor control. It's maybe not the best, but just the fact that I get so sweaty when wearing this, and it's just my armpits, which is really not normal for me. I won't even be hot and my armpits will be sweating using this deodorant. And I feel like usually when I'm actually hot and sweaty, it'll be like my back and my under boobs. Like it's not just my armpits. So I can tell that it's this deodorant causing the sweatiness. And I really dislike that. I hate that so much. So I just want to finish this one up so I can use a deodorant that I actually like and trust for summer. But this one was at 88 grams during my last check-in, and today it is at 62 grams. So I've used a lot of product since my last update. I feel like it's very close to being finished. I want to say the base of the product is right around here. I am so close, but I still have a little ways to go on this. So hopefully by my next update, this one will be gone. Okay, and then finally we have hair care. So again, I'm going to sort these products by which ones I've used in the past couple months versus which ones I haven't used. Okay, I've used these quite a bit, and then these I have not used. I have actually used this texturizing spray once, and that was just a couple days ago. So I'm still forming my thoughts on it, but I doubt that there's any difference in the weight. So I'm not going to bother weighing it today, and I'm just going to focus on talking about these here. Okay, first up we have this Amika Plus Size Perfect Body Mousse. I've used this one a handful of times since our last update, and I still have very mixed feelings about it. I don't know how much I like it. I feel like it does add a lot of volume to my hair, but then it makes my hair feel kind of gritty and dirty faster. I also can't use this in addition to my curl gel. If I use both products at the same time, then my hair looks very weighed down and dirty. So I have to choose to either use this or my curl gel, and so far I've been liking the results more with my curl gel. If I just use this one, then it does give my curls hold and it gives me volume, but my curls just look kind of stringy. They don't clump together very well, and I haven't loved how my hair has turned out when I use this product. But I do find if I'm doing some sort of like half up, half down sort of hairstyle, then this product really helps add some grittiness to my hair to help add hold. Otherwise, my hair can be really slippery, and it's hard to have, say, a claw clip stay in my hair. So that is when I like to use this product, but I still need to experiment more to see how I actually feel. So at the start of Project Pan, this one's at 256 grams. And then during my last update is at 253. And then today, it's at 248. So it's gone down 5 grams since my last update. So again, I'm just going to continue to use this one and see how I feel about it, but I'm glad that there's a little bit of progress today. Next up, I have this shampoo from Pacifica, and this one weighed 312 grams at the start of Project Pan, and then my last update 2 months ago is at 261, and then today, it's at 200. So I've used 61 grams of product since my last update. I don't have any strong feelings about this product. I'm just trying to finish it up before I open another one. So that's why this is a part of my Project Pan. Next, I have this herbal hair mask from the Innate Life. And I've used this one a handful of times since my last update. And at the start of Project Pan is at 225 grams. And then 2 months ago is at 203 grams. And today, it's at 176. So that's what, 27 grams of product used since my last update. It feels like I'm below the halfway mark here now. It's probably right about here. So I don't think I'll be able to use this up by my next update, but hopefully I'll continue making a dent in this. And I want it to be gone by the end of the year. I've really been focusing on this leave-in conditioner from the Innate Life, and I really thought that I would have it finished by this update, and it is so close to being done. I want to say it's right around here, but I can't use too much of this, otherwise my hair looks weighed down, so I can't just pile the product on and finish it. But I've been using it every single time I style my hair, and at the start of Project Pan it's at 99 grams. During the last update it was at 90 grams, and today it's at 62 grams. So I've used quite a bit of product since my last update. I've also been using this heat defense serum from Amika every single time I style my hair. And at the start of Project Pan, this was at 156 grams. My last update was 151 grams. And today, it's at 146. So I've been using 5 grams of this product every 2 months. It's really hard to tell how much is left in here because I can't see and I can't really feel it because it's a really thick product. Oh, I could probably unscrew this actually. Oh, okay. I don't know if you can see that. It's probably hard for you to see, but it looks like I'm about halfway through almost with this product. So that's good to know. A little really goes a long way though, so it is very slow going. Here is everything that is left in my Project Pan. So now I'm going to share some final numbers. Back at the start of Project Pan in March of 2025, I had 54 items total in my Project Pan. Then in May for my first update, I was down to 47 items. And then as of today, at the beginning of July in 2025, I've had 7 empties, 7 declutters, and 6 additions. And that brings my grand total for Project Pan to 39 items. So that's a difference of 8 items from back in May and down from 15 items at the start of Project Pan in March. Now I'm going to pull the items that I want to focus on for summer. Okay, so this is everything that I want to focus on for summer, which is most of the products. I definitely think that I can finish all of these face masks here, so that is a goal for summer. I definitely think that I can finish off the last bit of this sunscreen. I definitely want to finish this deodorant. I want to test out these hair products here just to see how I feel because I haven't really been able to test them out too much. So I want to test them to see if I want to keep them or declutter them. And then I'll continue using these hair products here for when I style my hair. And I definitely think that I can finish up this leave-in conditioner by my next update. These here I just want to make a dent in this summer, and I want to test out both of these Vanish products one at a time to see how my skin reacts and make sure that they're not expired. And if everything goes well, then hopefully I will make a dent in these as well. As for makeup, I'm going to continue using my Laneige sleep mask every night. Hopefully I can expand that pan and take down some of the edges here. I want to use as much of this Merit concealer stick as possible because, like I said, I'm planning on getting rid of it after summer. So hopefully I can finish it up or get close to finishing it. For blush, I want to focus on these 2 Flush Balms from Merit. So again, Beverly Hills. And then for summer, I want to focus on Rouge. Rouge is a really pretty red and a little goes a long way, but I like to layer Beverly Hills on top to make it look more natural on me. So this combination I think will be perfect for summer. And hopefully I can flatten this rouge here because it is still a full dome. And I'm going to continue working on my goal to pan Beverly Hills. And then I'll continue using my Kulfi eyebrow gel. Again, there's no rush for me to finish this one, but it's going to stay in my Project Pan. I'm going to try to sanitize this Laura Mercier caviar stick, and hopefully it doesn't cause any issues, but as long as everything goes well, then hopefully I will be able to finish this one before my next update. And then I also want to really start to use up these Merit eyeshadows and really just make it a goal to use these on almost a daily basis. And then for lips, I'm going to be focusing on these two products here. So I have the Merit Oil in Jete and the Rare Beauty Lip Balm in Nearly Apricot. This Merit one, I've already talked about how I need to use it before it expires. And then this Rare Beauty one is in the same boat. So it also is technically expired, but this one I have barely used at all. I think this will be a beautiful color for summer, and I'm really excited to use it alongside these two blushes here. I think that this will be such a nice combination and feels really summery to me. I don't think I'll be able to empty this one by my next update, but hopefully there will be good progress. So that's it for my project pan. These will be my focuses going into summer, and I've actually created a list on my phone of all the dates when I purchased my makeup products. So I'm really trying to go in the order of when I use them and really prioritize my older products first. And prioritize the makeup that's from clean beauty brands, because if it doesn't have preservatives, then those are probably going to go bad first. So that list is really helping to keep me focused, and that's what I'm going to refer to as I move forward with Project Pan. I've also been thinking a lot about the sunken cost fallacy when it comes to Project Pan. And I feel like with getting that eye infection and having all those makeup products expire, it's really been making me think more about this and how my favorite products are expiring as I'm trying to use up products that are already expired. So that is the sunken cost. I'm wasting perfectly good products while trying to use up products that aren't good anymore. I find it really hard to focus on finishing items in Project Pan when I'm thinking about my other favorite makeup products expiring. So I haven't figured out exactly how to balance that yet, but I think for me it means just focusing on less for Project Pan and allowing myself to use my other favorite makeup products at the same time. And I also don't want to hate pan anything, so I've decided to only empty the products that I like and make a dent in the others before I decide to declutter them. Project Pan can be really overwhelming trying to balance using everything before they expire. And this is just a reminder that I do not need to own this much stuff, especially when it comes to makeup and eye products. I don't need to own this many cream eyeshadows, because again, I just can't use them before they expire. So let me know if you have any tips on how to balance using up products. And I'm curious, if you're doing Project Pan, do you set hard rules for yourself, or are you more flexible with what you use? How do you go about doing Project Pan? Let me know in the comments below, and thank you for watching. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.